Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. Now, if you're looking at the title and thumbnail of today's video, you know that today we're going to be talking about a female YouTuber who decided to drop out of her PhD program in order to pursue a career in OnlyFans doing that kind of work, if you know what I'm saying. But let's look at the actual story in question and see what it is that there is to learn. I have here on screen an article from MSN.com, which comes from the, what's the publication? The Hindustan Times. And the article is titled, YouTuber Zara Dar drops out of PhD to become OnlyFans model. I've made over $1 million. I just thought that headline alone. I know we're going to see something juicy here, but let's keep reading. YouTuber Zara Dar recently announced her decision to drop out of her PhD program to pursue a career as an OnlyFans model. Zara, until recently an advocate for women in science and technology, made a video explaining why she decided to stop pursuing her doctorate to focus on OnlyFans. And then we get into the section titled, I've dropped out of my PhD. In her YouTube video titled PhD Dropout to OnlyFans Model, Zara Dar said the decision to focus on OnlyFans was not made lightly. Well, we'll see about that. I've cried so much over this decision to quit my PhD because it's a stressful decision. Not that I'm particularly sad, she said in her YouTube video. Moving on to doing OnlyFans and content creation full-time, it's not just a career choice, it kind of feels like a gamble on the direction of my entire life, said Zara, who has over 1 lakh subscribers on YouTube, where her past videos included tutorials on machine learning and neural networks. Yeah, Zara, it is a gamble on the direction of your life, because you see, getting a PhD and having a stable career in the field of science that you were advocating for, that's something that can go a really long time in your life, even when your looks fade. Pursuing OnlyFans as your full-time career, well, that's a limited shelf life because that career only works if you're pretty, and everyone knows, over time, your looks fade. So, yeah, she's taking a huge gamble. Unless she makes a crap ton of money while she's doing it, and then she's really smart at saving and spending her money after she's done, it's definitely a gamble on her career, and frankly, it's probably the worst choice. I know it's the worst choice for a variety of reasons. Spend their lives working for a company. Elaborating on her decision to drop out of her PhD, Zara said she had already spent a couple of years in graduate school but could imagine a future in academia. She said she could imagine herself wearing a polished suit and working with a team, or even the alternative route of becoming a professor and having students work under her. However, that kind of lifestyle came with its own trade-offs, which influenced her decision to drop out of her PhD. People whose lifestyles I thought I envied are tied to someone else's vision. They'll spend their lives working for a company and doing things they don't necessarily enjoy, she said, adding that these people would never get the recognition they deserve. Their work might win someone else's wealth and fame while they stay in the background, she said. Expendable, they will constantly worry about getting laid off and planning their lives around their salaries, budgeting to pay bills, and likely renting a place to live, predicted Zara, who pursued a master's in computer science at the University of Texas. Oh no, you mean you'd have to do some adulting in that career? Oh, say it isn't so. Zara said that she imagined a different life for herself, where she was not bound by the expectations of an academic institution or the constraints of a corporate office. By choosing not to pursue academia or a tech job, she explained that she could explore and learn about topics that interested her, not just those deemed important by a funding agency. I've made $1 million. And then, of course, there is the financial angle. In her video, Zara said she had taken up content creation on OnlyFans as a side project while she was pursuing her PhD. She earned $1 million through her OnlyFans gig, money that she used to pay off her family's mortgage and buy a car for herself. Thankfully, I avoided taking out any student loans. Now I have an investment portfolio and I am planning to buy my own house. All of these achievements are just reminders of the tangible rewards of carving my own path and the freedom that comes with it, she said. Before I finish this, I made $1 million off of doing OnlyFans, and I was able to use that money to pay off my parents' house mortgage and buy a car. So, man, I should just keep doing this all the time. Who knows what other kind of material goods I can get if I just focus on doing OnlyFans full time. I like how she puts it in such brave, noble language, but in reality, she's just justifying being a 304 who makes money off of the attention of random men on the internet. Very interesting. She ended her video by reiterating that most professors in America earn $100,000 a year and spend their time writing grant proposals instead of doing research. This is not the life she envisioned for herself. Her video, reposted on X, has racked up nearly 1 million views and plenty of comments, with many shocked at how a career in adult content pays more than traditional choices. So let me get this straight. Rather than having a stable career in academia where you earn $100,000 a year and that career is not dependent on you keeping your good looks, which will eventually fade over time, something stable like that is boring. I don't have freedom in this career. But being an OnlyFans model, which I've already made $1 million in doing, oh yes, that's the career path I want. That's the freedom I want. In other words, because she's moderately good looking and she's making money off of OnlyFans, she wants to be a full-time 304. Even if she is a successful OnlyFans model, meaning that she makes a lot of money off of doing it, an OnlyFans model, like any model, has a limited shelf life because it is a career, quote-unquote, an industry that is based on having good, youthful looks. And looks over time fade for everyone, man or woman. And even though she's moderately attractive now, and even though this might work for her now, she's not going to be able to do this forever. I mean, as soon as, let's be real, as soon as she starts hitting the ages of like 32, 35, 40 years old, maybe if she's lucky, 45, her looks will eventually start to fade and her OnlyFans money will start to shrivel up, and she's going to have some buyer's remorse that she didn't finish her PhD program and get a career in a traditional field. No, she wants that 304 money because it's easy money when you're young like she is, when you're moderately good looking like she is. It's just easy money for someone like her, especially considering that she is most likely, I'm 99.9% sure, she's a woman of the world. A woman of the world, like Zara, is going to look at how easy it is to make money as an OnlyFans model, especially since she's already been doing it as a side gig and already making big money off of it just because she's moderately good looking. Well, that is something that she's going to take at as a career choice. Just like how a lot of kids today grow up thinking that being a YouTuber is a viable career choice, even though you have to be extremely lucky and hardworking in order to get to the point where you're popular enough on YouTube to make a living off of it. I mean, I've been doing YouTube videos for 10 years now. And, well, I'm also on other sites at this point as well. But I've been doing videos, at least for YouTube, since 2015. And there was a few years where I wasn't on YouTube at all, and I was just doing alt-tech sites like BitChute and Rumble. But the bottom line is that whether it was on YouTube for a period of about, 6 years, or whether it was doing alternative platforms for the last 8 years, I've been doing videos for 10 years as far as TTOR goes, and I am nowhere near being popular enough to make a career off of doing this full time, which is why I have a day job. But that's okay, because that's normal. Not everyone is lucky enough to be able to do content creation full time. Now, would I like to be able to do content creation full time? Would I like to make enough money off of doing TTOR that I could just do TTOR videos full time and not have to work a regular 9 to 5 or a 9 to 6 or a 9 to 7 in my case? Sure. I mean, that would be nice, but that's not the reality. A Twitter user named FHouseBunny shared a screenshot of the Hindustan Times article we've been reading and responding to, and she said, "She was an advocate of women in science. How proud the feminazis must be." And it's the comment section where we see some real gold. We see Bonfire Brotherhood say, "Never listen to a woman advocate unless she's been doing it for 10 years plus. It's funny to think of a woman saying science is so great, so get into it, and then she doesn't even finish her education to sell her body." Lucas said, "This is beyond dystopian." Nick says, "And to think, according to radfem logic, all those men she's sleeping with are making her do it. It's their fault," which basically means the patriarchy is making her millions. Hooray for patriarchy. Hashtag cranky logic. Afrin said, "Sadly, this means that at the end of the day, the only thing they have to sell is their body." AI ate my job said in response, "We need to admit that a lot of female careerism is totally ungrounded in anything but trying to appear like a successful modern woman. This is why DEI is so important to many of them, because if they really had to grind like men and face rejection and keep at it without an easier path, then they would quit and they wouldn't be able to prove they are better than men. Not every woman, but a lot of this isn't driven by anything more than vanity. If they have an opportunity to make money doing easier work, like being naked, especially when the upside chance of success is so high, which for her, let's face it, is very high, most will take an easier road. It is what it is." Ank says, "Same hypocrite women will cry for objectification in TV, serials, movies, but they themselves will be fine doing much more in OnlyFans." Large Prime Numbers said, "I guess science was harder than sucking censored for a living." Sean B.W. Parker said, "The amorality of fourth-wave feminism is a sight to behold." This Twitter user named Hanakuki said, "PhD to porn pipeline is undefeated." And Matt Watson said, "They'll drop their principles as quickly as their knickers when there's money to be made. Such quality moral fiber." Laughing emoji. Well, guys, I think we'll just leave it there, but basically, you've seen it yourself. A popular female YouTuber, Zara Dar, who was a huge advocate for women in science, decided to drop out of her PhD program in science in order to pursue a career as an OnlyFans model, also known as a 304. So that is a real thing, that is happening, and it is stories like this that gives the MGTOW red pill community ammunition for saying what women are really like. Because the women they describe do exist to some degree, which makes it a lot trickier of an issue to navigate when you have all the women out there who don't do things like Zara Dar does. But anywho, I'm done talking about this. If you enjoyed what you saw in the video and you like my content, but you're not a big fan of watching me on YouTube because of their censorship, well then I would encourage you to follow me on 2 different YouTube alternatives that I'm on. One is Rumble, which you can see right here on screen. Rumble is a video sharing site owned by Donald Trump's media company, which makes it technically Donald Trump's YouTube alternative in a manner of speaking. And it is a great site with millions upon millions of people using it. I back up all my videos here. Some of my videos get way more views on Rumble than they do on YouTube. But I also do my live shows on here when I do live shows, which is the TTOR show and God TV radio podcasts. And that is something that I really love about Rumble, is being able to do live shows. And the reason why I love being able to do live shows on Rumble is because Rumble's freedom of speech that they allow is far greater than YouTube's. There are certain topics on YouTube that I literally can't talk about because if I were to talk about them openly and honestly, my entire channel or at least individual videos would get banned from the site. I can talk about those same topics on Rumble, either in a stream or in a video that I upload, and I won't get censored at all for talking about it. So if you're a fan of my content, you want to watch me on a site that doesn't censor people like YouTube does, and you want to see my live shows when they're live, I would encourage you to subscribe to my Rumble channel, check out my Rumble videos, share them far and wide. There's also Quarter, which is my own open source alt tech alternative to YouTube that I started back in May of 2022, and I currently run to this day. It is very feature rich and functional when compared to YouTube. It has full HD video upload capacity, including 4K, live streaming, free restreaming, public playlists, easy to use comment moderation system, but there's also features that you don't see on YouTube, such as the ability to upload audio files instead of videos, the ability to upload pictures instead of videos, the ability to write blog articles and embed videos not just from Quarter, but basically any video site on the internet that allows you to embed things through HTML code. There's also video chat rooms that you can create on Quarter that do all the basic functionality of video calling that you would expect, but you can also live stream to your channel from these rooms. And then there's Quarter Bucks, which is an insight currency that you get by getting views on your videos. And when you have enough Quarter Bucks, you can promote your whole channel or individual videos on the front page of the website. And Quarter's freedom of speech is every bit as good as Rumble's. As a matter of fact, it's even greater. As long as you don't post terrorism content, and as long as you're not posting pornographic material to Quarter, you can say and do and really talk about anything you want, even if it's to disagree with me. So if you're a fan of freedom of speech and you want to be able to post your videos on a YouTube alternative that will not censor you and is run by a content creator like yourself who understands the importance of freedom of expression, then I would encourage you to join Quarter today.